What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I think it's basically universally agreed on that the one thing that Disney has gotten right about Star Wars has been The Mandalorian, and mostly because they actually put people that love Star Wars, like Jon Favreau, in charge of it. Of course, I will still say that I think Rogue One was really good, and it will be one of those forgotten Star Wars films amongst all the super mega trilogy talk that I think was probably the best Star Wars, is easily the best Star Wars movie that Disney put out. It's not even a choice, or it's not even a, I mean, it's like a no-brainer for me. And Rogue One wasn't even that good. I just mean of the Disney era, it's easily my favorite. Now, Mandalorian Season 2 is out, and it's currently downloading. I'm currently signing up for Disney Plus to pay full price to watch and give money to the Chinese sympathizers. But the media is already going after the show. Now, in advance of The Mandalorian's second season, which began, by the way, yesterday, it's time to bring up the old chestnut of phobias and all sorts of ways to try and get likes and retweets on Twitter, of course. The anticipation is mired by the controversy from returning actor Gina Carano and rumored cast addition Rosario Dawson. While The Beat currently plans to continue covering The Mandalorian sophomore season, we feel it's important to note and consider the issues surrounding both of the factors. So, to be clear, what Comics Beat is saying is we're still going to profit from running these ads on the show, but we're going to just demean it and lie about it endlessly, including strong independent women like Gina Carano, who has the intestinal fortitude to stand up against the outrage mobs on Twitter, which is a rare sight, especially in Hollywood. Gina, who plays the role of Cara Dune in The Mandalorian, has made jokes we didn't like on Twitter. I don't use their language. I use normal person's language. In case everyone's wondering, like, I'm not afraid to say transphobic. I'm just saying I don't agree with it, so I'm not going to, amplify their slander or lies. In explaining the joke and reasoning behind it to a follower, Gina stated that she was not against trans lives at all, and they need to find less abusive representation. I agree with that. I am friendly with several trans folks on Twitter, and I don't like to tokenize them in that way when people say horrible things about me. And guess what? They're some of the most understanding and funny and non-reactionary people I've ever seen on the platform. The problem is there's a handful, maybe 20 or 30, that being trans and being outraged on Twitter is part of their identity. And if you ever dare make a joke that offends somebody, even indirectly, they will come for your head and they won't stop. And that's exactly what they did to Gina when she refused to use pronouns. People often defend this type of thing by insisting they were driven to it because they were attacked, by people who have requested to not be misgendered or disrespected. And by the way, of course, the pronouns garbage again. Look, I don't owe any stranger any respect. It's earned, all right? If I know somebody and they have pronouns that they prefer I use, no problem, I'll use it. But I'm not going to go out of my way to look in somebody's Twitter bio and make sure. That's too much work, all right? That's the American way. I'm not going to go out of my way to find out how you want me to refer to you. That's why it's more easy to use they, them, generally, to avoid that. But if you present female and you get mad that people use female pronouns, it's ridiculous. It's just absurd. It's outrage for outrage's sake. The pattern goes like this. A high-profile person says something intentionally or unintentionally harmful to a marginalized group, representatives or allies. What they mean is upper-middle-class white people. The allies, that is. They call themselves, but really allies just use that label as a way to avoid criticism for being the most toxic people on the planet. Then 3, instead of apologizing, the high-profile person reacts defensively, frequently doubling down on the harmful comment. Well, here's the reality of how it goes. So what they're saying is, it's just allies who are trying to educate the person. No. That's not how it happens. One person you know, let's say they even make a misstep and they actually say something genuinely offensive that they didn't mean. The problem is the first interactions they will have is a mob of people demanding they be fired by or releasing their personal information or doxing them or, you know, blasting them nonstop on Twitter. The first interaction they have is with the mob. They never see the 2 or 3 reasonable people who are trying to reach out to them and say like, hey, I know you, hey, let's say, and believe me, I've had people email me. In particular, it's usually trans folks who will say like, hey, I watch your videos and I know you're not phobic, but also like, dude, like, you know, here's why this is a big deal. And oftentimes these are the most thoughtful, well thought out, very long emails, taking a genuine effort to educate me on why something might be, why I might be wrong about something. And I 100% appreciate that. And I read those emails. And I know I have trans viewers who sometimes I might rub the wrong way, but they know that it's unintentional. I can tell this because of the emails that I get. Now, if some high profile person, if people were to interact with them in that manner, they'd obviously be much more likely to reconsider things. Not that they have to, but they'd be more likely. The problem is that's not the way it goes. First comes the bombardment, the cancel culture, the doxing, the telling you to end yourself, all this kind of stuff from supposed allies. And then you wonder why people double down. Well, that's just human nature. You tell me that I have to change something, you know, and you're a jerk about it, well, then I'm going to double down. And if you don't understand that that's basic human nature, then you probably are a toxic Twitter user. Then they go to talk about Rosario Dawson. Dawson's situation is complicated because she may not even appear in The Mandalorian, while Lucasfilm has not officially confirmed whether or not she will be appearing. In October 2019, someone who had been working as a handyman for the... Wait, handyman? Whoa! Wait a minute. Handy person comics beat? I'm not even kidding. This whole article is about respecting pronouns, and then you use a gendered term like handyman. Let's look up the author. Going to have to bombard them on Twitter. Oh, sorry, Avery Kaplan. You're fired. You know, that's it. And I'm like, obviously, I say that in jest, but oftentimes it's something as simple as this that get people riled up, okay? Now, that this person did file a suit alleging that, you know, people didn't accept him or whatever. We don't know if any of that was actually true. The suit has never been proven or followed through on. So all we have are allegations, right? And you have, you know, welcoming Blue Del Barrio and Ian Alexander to the Star Trek family. While The Mandalorian may be spinning its wheels in the long ago, Star Trek is making strides towards the future. Both Gray, a transgender character played by a trans actor. Who cares about this? Like, it's so ridiculous. Like, it's not just that you must have certain percentages of representation, which nobody actually knows the real number. It must also be represented by the correct type of people, right? So a black actor or actress can play a white actor or actress's role. No problem, right? A gay actor or actress can play a straight role, right? This is right. But a non-trans actor or actress cannot play a trans role. Why? Who knows? Certainly straight actors play gay roles, and I'm sure that that's problematic as well. Well, I mean, don't you think that by that same logic, it's problematic when like Barney Stinson's character played by Neil Patrick Harris, which is like an uber male, even though Neil Patrick Harris is gay, isn't that a problem? I mean, I don't think it's a problem, but by your same logic, I mean, it's Hollywood, it's pretend. They're actors doing what they do, acting. The second you start worrying about what they do in their real life as representation of what they do on the screen, you get Ruby Rose and Batwoman, and you get Batwoman season 2, which is going to be a train wreck as well. If you like The Mandalorian, again, Gina can say what she wants on Twitter, and that's her right. And I give her a lot of respect for standing up against this cancel culture, which will follow her around forever and will most certainly limit future roles. Like, The Mandalorian may be as good as it gets for her. For many other actresses or actors, they may be able to springboard into bigger roles with Disney after working on The Mandalorian, maybe the next Star Trek film or something like that. But I'm not sure cancel culture will allow it. But, you know, anytime a new show comes out or a new movie comes out, they've got to bring out this old chestnut and pretend they're offended for the billionth time. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.